We're talking about the fear that a lot of German women have because of the influx of so-called migrants. So some entrepreneur came up with what he calls anti-rape pants, and they've been selling out very quickly. They're called safe shorts, and they're supposed to give women 3 times the protection. Pants consist of a tear and cut resistant material. They also feature a protector in the groin area, strings along the waist cross at the groin. They're being lashed down to prevent the pants from being pulled down or ripped down. A combination lock is supposed to provide additional safety. By the way, the pants also have an alarm in them that's triggered by somebody pulling, tugging, or tearing on them. It can also be activated manually if needed. The safe shorts are available as running pants or hot pants. The manufacturer says, starting off, we produced only a small series, but it sold out quickly. The demand, 80% of it come from German women. A Swedish politician was talking about the increase in violent crime as a result of the admission of so-called migrants. And there was a study in Germany by a German university found a 10.4% increase in violent crime linked to an influx of migrants into the country's southern region. According to Newsweek, headline, Migrants in Europe linked to soaring violence and crime in Germany, study finds. More than 90% of the 10.4% increase in reported violent crimes of rape in Germany attributed to male migrants. Study funded by the Germany's Ministry of Family Affairs found that many violent crimes reported by the police were linked to male migrants between the ages of 14 and 30 years old. Quote, violent crimes are significantly less likely to be committed by male migrants from Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria than they were by male migrants from northern Africa, according to the study. Here's what a Swedish politician said a few days ago about how their generous immigration policy has led to an increase in crime and poverty.
So there are many problems. It's very hard to define one, but the biggest problem is the amount of immigrants that are coming in. In the last couple of years, we have taken in about 250,000 asylum seekers, and for comparison, that would be like America taking in about 8 or 9 million asylum seekers. This is people that Sweden provides housing, healthcare, schooling, and all these a lot of these expensive services that the Swedish welfare system gives to people. And this has created, of course, a lot of huge costs in the short run for the Swedish system, but also when we look at long term, what we're seeing now with crime and poverty is effects of having a very lax migration system for 10, 15 years ago. And what we're seeing now with basically ghettos and street gangs, which is a phenomenon that never even heard of in Sweden, and also jihadists traveling abroad, etc. These are problems that are new to Sweden, and Sweden's system is not capable of, it's not capable and it's not designed to handle these problems. For example, in unemployment, in 2006, about 20% of people unemployed were immigrants and foreign-born. Today, that number is up to 60%.
I was at a party and I mentioned what the Dalai Lama said about migrants coming into Germany. That politician is from Sweden. He was talking about Sweden. And I said the Dalai Lama said that there were too many migrants coming to Germany and that Germany should remain Germany and it's best for migrants to go back home. And I would say out of 20 people, the ones that were honest, 20 of them did not feel that the Dalai Lama had actually said that. 1 or 2 didn't say anything, but the other ones went crazy. He didn't say that. So, of course, pulled out the smartphone. Isn't it amazing to be able to do that? Settle an argument just like that? My goodness. I remember having an argument when I was in middle school and getting on a bus and going to the library on Crenshaw Boulevard to get the answer. So altogether, I probably spent about 2 hours just getting the answer. I forget what it was, but with some disagreement that I had with somebody about some political fact. We ended up literally getting on a bus and going to the library to settle it. And now you can just whip out a smartphone. It's just amazing. Anyway, that's exactly what the Dalai Lama said. He said that there are too many migrants in Germany. Germany must remain Germany, and that a way must be figured out to relocate the migrants back home. People were stunned. The Dalai Lama said that? Oh, yes, he did. Don't tell Richard Gere. We come back. A report on Uma Thurman finally talking about Harvey Weinstein. She's had a long-standing relationship with Harvey Weinstein. If anybody knows about Harvey Weinstein's behavior, it ought to be Uma Thurman, but she hadn't said anything until very recently. She also talked about a stunt that Quentin Tarantino wanted her to perform that she thought was too dangerous, and it injured her, and she says she still has damage from this stunt that she ought not have to have been able to perform. We'll talk about that. And there is controversy over the use of an MLK speech to sell Dodge Ram pickups, except the speech from which the commercial excerpted has MLK trashing the use of ads to sell cars. Oops. 888-971-SAGE. I am Larry Elder. Do not leave town.
All across America.